neglecting here my little 500 since I've gotten the X4, but I mean, you can't blame me. You get that new machine smell until it's wore off, you're just kind of obsessed over it. But I had the idea a couple weeks ago for a, I don't know if I'd call it a performance modification to the 500. I doubt I'm going to see much gain as far as performance, but this idea popped in my head, and it's either going to be an absolute ingenious concept, or it's just going to be a pain in the butt. I'm going to end up having to buy new parts that I screw up the old parts with. But anyway, what it has to do with is the exhaust here. Now, I like how quiet the 500 is, so I'm not trying to make this any louder. But I really don't like the design of the spark arrestor on this guy, and how you have to take this plug out, pretty much plug the tailpipe, and then just rev the engine to kind of blow the soot out. To me, that doesn't seem like a very efficient way to keep this clean. So I kind of want to bypass this and get rid of this. And this can be something you guys can do too, if it works okay. But what my idea was, is to actually cut this tailpipe off, and add one of these bigger tips that you can get like off of Amazon, off of eBay for an ATV. This was actually, I think, listed for a Yamaha Grizzly. And what my idea is to take the tailpipe, cut it off, make a bigger hole here, and then attach this tip on here with some self-tapping screws here on the back. Again, I don't want it to be overly louder to make it louder and scream going down the trail. I just want to kind of take enough stuff out of this that I can bypass this spark arrestor, and then we won't have to worry about it. This tip that I bought comes with the spark arrestor screen like a lot of these do, so it'll still be compliant. I'll still be able to run on state game land that allows trail riding if need be, because it still has a spark arrestor screen in it. I just won't have to worry about this. So I think in order to do this, I'm going to go ahead and pull my stuff off the rack, pull my fenders off, because I need to be able to get in here and take this heat shield off. Although, we got two screws there. You know what, I'm going to try to do this without taking all this stuff off. That way, if you guys like the concept of this modification and want to do it yourself, the less we have to do, the quicker it's going to go, and hopefully the easier it's going to be. So let's start here. We'll leave this stuff on for now. I'll take it off if need be later. Now, there are guys on the Honda Side-by-Side forum at hondasidebyside.com that have taken their mufflers, cut this whole end off, completely gutted their mufflers from tailpipe clear through the cat, and then welded this back on. And that's really helped to free up some flow through the muffler. But again, I'm not really worried about this as far as performance and opening it up. I still want it to be nice and quiet. I don't want people to be able to hear me from 3 miles away coming through the woods. I don't like this spark arrestor and how this is set up. But if you guys are interested in what they've done, or even interested to see what's completely inside this muffler, then I'll see if I can find the links for those threads that are on the hondasidebyside.com. I will post them in my description so you guys can check that out in case you are wanting to open this up. Unfortunately, there is no aftermarket exhaust for the 500. Beep, 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 beep. Alright, can't quite get in there good enough. Looks like we're going to have to go ahead and pull this stuff off the rack. No biggie. I love my 500, but she just looks so wrong and naked without anything on the rack, doesn't she? That should be that. I can get in there a little bit easier. Maybe at least see what I'm doing. Alright, that's free. Now, get out here and see what we're looking like. Now that we got all that off, we need to figure out exactly where center for this tip is to be. how big I can cut my hole and still leave enough here to mount my screws. Now I don't know if you guys will be able to see this on the camera. You might be able to, but you can see how there's kind of this flat ring right here, which, like I was hoping, is pretty much perfect for where these are going to line up. So if I kind of center that over those, then we should be in good shape there. I can cut out a hole this big and still have enough of that flat spot left there to attach the tip with the bolts that were provided. Alright, here we go. Point of no return. Straight pipe. See if we can't get this centered on here where we want it. Now, I don't know if I should put it down and maybe turn it so it comes straight out the back. I think I kind of like it turned so it's out the back. I don't know, I just like the straight out the back look. So I think that's what I'm going to go with. I don't know, I might, that would give me a better, that tip there would give me a little bit more material here on the edge to work with. But I mean, we're still going to be going from a hole this big to a hole this size in here. So I think that's what we're going to be going with. Bad thing is I don't have a solid piece of metal here. My pilot bit, well, I don't know how well she's going to want to cut. So this might be kind of tricky. Alright, what I think I'm going to do is use a smaller one to cut this pipe, the center tailpipe section out. It only runs in to about my finger length here. So I'm thinking if I can get that cut out, then I can use a jigsaw to cut this out. So we'll find out if this is going to work or not. Yeah, if I had something to stick in there, I could probably break that loose. This ought to be the trick. Maybe. That's on there. Boy. Probably going to have to find some way to get a hold of that, give her a twist. There's a stink bug in there. Look at this, look! It just fell onto my foot. Although that could have been in, oh, I bet you it was in the pipe, not the muffler. That's funny. Alright, let's see if I can get around it with this slightly bigger one. Need my earplugs. Wow! Safety first. Shoo! Smoking. That looks really cool. Just about, I think. Smoking! Vaping for off-road drivers. Nah, they don't want to slip. That's what I'm afraid of. Woohoo! Well, there's that. Kind of how I wanted her. Now I can see in there good. Let's do a quick check of her tip. I still got plenty I'll be able to screw to. Yeah. Alright, so here, I don't know how well you guys can see, we have our tailpipe that goes in through another little baffle plate in there, as you can see. And this little chamber right there where you guys can see at is the chamber that our which I don't see how that even works, guys. This is supposed to be where you can clean out your spark arrestor. But this pipe goes straight through. I don't see any openings here that even collect. I don't know. I didn't design the thing, but I don't know. But anyway, if I can get clear back there now to cut through that second pipe, I think we'll be golden. Alright, so I took my hole saw in there. I was actually able to pound the tailpipe section far enough that I could get this guy in there and cut that inside one a little more. I think I finally got it enough for this is going to come out. Maybe. Oh, she's wanting to. Oh, it's so close. Haha! There it is. You can see where this guy had some welds on it. That was holding it. Let's see if I can clean that up a little bit. Alright, so now you guys can see what I was trying to accomplish here. Just to open up this muffler a little bit without completely gutting it so it's not overly loud. And then I'll be able to get in here and clean this stuff up a little bit better if it ever gets all carbed up with carbon from the motor. So, I would say mission accomplished. I'm going to throw the tip on here. I don't know if this will change the sound any. May make it a little bit louder since this is opened up, but hopefully not obnoxiously loud. But we'll find out here. Alright, and I think I am going to go with the... Drop it up. Instead of going down, I'm going to go tip straight out. Give her the good old eyeball level here. Alright, there she is. Now I'm definitely gonna have to get some paint and paint my muffler up. But I'm liking the looks of that. I can't wait to get the rest of it together. So we'll see how she looks. See if we can get our heat shield back on. Alright guys, as you can see I got this heat plate trimmed around this so it'll fit on there. And if I want to take this off, I probably won't ever have any need to, but if I want to, then I can pop it off without having to take everything apart and take this heat shield off. I am going to have to take it back off or at least take it loose right now because I forgot to put my spark arrest screen in. And I want to make sure to run that. That way I'm still legal to run on state game land or on state trails. So, pop these loose, slide that in place, and button everything back up. Put my top heat shield back on, my bed back on, and we'll be ready to see how this sounds. Alright guys, so there she's all back together minus my toolbox and stuff. I'm going to kind of revamp that here anyway, and I got to put my winter stuff on there since it's getting cold. I'm going to put my rear windshield and stuff on that, so that can go on another time. But there she is guys. Nice little exhaust tip. Open her up a little bit more. Again, we went from this size here, which can fit in there nice and easy, to the bigger size. I have my spark arrestor screen in there that you guys can see. So I think it's about high time we see how this sounds. Ooh, guys, let me tell you, I'm kind of liking that. It gave it a deeper, throatier sound without it actually getting any louder. Again, I didn't gut the muffler or anything. Everything inside the muffler is still intact, just like it was. The catalytic converter is still intact. So it didn't increase the volume, it just lowered the sound of it. Gave it a little bit more of a throaty sound, a throaty blah, 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 rumble. And this only took me about an hour total to do. So if you guys are looking for a quick little exhaust modification to give it a slightly better sound, open it up a little bit more, I think then you guys might be interested in something like this. This tip here I got off of Amazon. This was, I think, one that was made for a Yamaha Grizzly, I believe. I got the black, so it was a little more expensive. It was about $32, but I mean, you can get chrome ones of these for like 15, 16 bucks off of Amazon. So I mean, for 16 bucks for a better sounding exhaust that's opened up a little better, will breathe a little better. I very much doubt there's going to be any kind of performance gains from just doing that. But I mean, for the sound of it and for the price of it, I'm happy with it. So I'll leave a link in my description below for this exhaust tip that I got. Probably one thing I may end up doing now, since this is a nice black, is get some high heat paint and paint my muffler and heat shield so it's at least black to match, maybe not stick out so much. But I'm very happy with the results for all the more this took. So, boy, I just can't get over how good that looks, having that nice tip on there. Anyway, I'm going to stop drooling over this and let you guys go for today. Thanks for joining me for this quick little Pioneer 500 mod. And until next time, keep on riding. Appalachian Mountain Riders is brought to you in part by the following. The Honda Side-by-Side Club, because who knows the machines better than the owners that use them every day. Walker Evans Racing. When the path requires more than just ordinary, head on over to walkerevansracing.com. Torque Locker from Torque Masters Industries. When you want to explore the unexplored, head on over to torquemasters.com. And by my gracious supporters on Patreon.